Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Europe race today out on Watopia for 4 laps. Today we will be covering the A, the B, and we'll catch the back end of the C and the D category. The A's have gotten out on course already, actually, and there looks to be about, I believe, about 30 to 40 riders jumping out on the course right now. We'll jump right into the action with the racers. We do have about 2 minutes to the start of the B category. It looks to have about 70 riders in and amongst that category over there. We do have, though, social media integration. I am starting to see a few of the comments come on through. Actually, Martin Jortvik, who was a guest on our weekly windup yesterday, says spreadsheet open and ready for some action. Good to see you over there. Any questions or comments can come on through. Thanks a lot, Zwift Community Live, for letting everybody know. You can tweet them at us at Zwift Community Live, or you can comment on Zwift's Facebook in order to bring those on through. We are also live over on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube at the moment. So if you'd like to follow us on those places, head on over and you can find us Zwift Community Live, just spelled out like that. So right into the A racing, though, as you can see here, they are heading into the SEs. This will be one of the places out on the Watopia Hilly course that riders will be trying to get away. The reverse course, though, is going to be mainly contentious when they do hit that reverse climb up the Watopia Hilly climb reverse, usually right around a 3:30 to a 4-minute climb for these A racers. We do see Justin Pierfacati actually in the race today. I would say that he's probably a favorite for the W out there, riding for Team ODZ. Paceline Designs is there as well, though, on the pink kit with the pink bike, actually. Very strong rider as well to be watching out for. Szerzynski there, also a CVR contender, is hanging out amongst the group. P. Fond here from Innovation out of Switzerland actually rides for Innovation in game, but also rides for Colnego Steiner actually out of Switzerland, an elite team in that country. Definitely be watching out for him for the W out there today, as we're not seeing any of the super heavy hitters besides Pierfacati and Fond out there today. Annabelle will be watching out for. Innovation actually showing up in force today, most likely doing a little bit of training, getting ready for their 24-hour challenge that is coming up this weekend on October 20th. We did a feature on that actually in the weekend wind-up yesterday with Andy Jackson, who is going for a new record in Zwift. You can go ahead and watch the weekly wind-up replay either at our YouTube, Twitch, or on Mixer. Definitely had a great interview with the Innovation team member Andy Jackson, and himself, along with the rest of the team and anybody else who would like to help them, are going to be doing it for charity as well as trying to break a new record. They're going for 1,000 kilometers in 24-hour period as a part of the Chain Gang 24 race that is going on this weekend on the 20th through the 21st, actually. So if you want to get involved with that, make sure to look out for the posts in the Facebook groups, as well as you can check out Chain Gang 24. I believe a Google search should be able to help you out with that. Up to the front of the race now, we are seeing them come through the sprint section. Let's see what kind of times they are pulling through here. It is a 12:63 coming from Gilbertson, currently holding down the fastest sprint amongst the riders. Just a hundredth of a second behind will be G Beard, right along with Sipin there as well. But that is not actually a competition they're going to be getting any points for out there today. But we'll be able to hold down that jersey, though, once they are out of the event. Perhaps we'll see if that was fast enough to hold it. I'm not sure it will be fast enough, though, once they jump out of this event here. But the on the left-hand side of the course, this sprint section of the course, this actually is only showing those that are part of this A category event for the sprint jersey. So that is why you're not seeing them currently holding on to the sprint jersey or having the sprint jersey next to their name in the riders, group riders nearby, actually. Now back with the B category, they are out on course, as this is going to go into Grupo Compacto most likely as they head toward the reverse Watopia climb. So in the B category right now, The environment just a little bit louder, actually. Let's go ahead and bring that down just a little bit here. But looking through, we do see up toward the front end of the race, Johnny Bay is there, right along with S-Light from the PTZ team. Garrido is there as well as they're entering into the halfway point on the S's. If you look at the new map, in the upper right hand corner, you can see a few riders have started to fall off pace from this group. You do see the green markers there out on the new mini map, actually, for those who have fallen off from this group. G Taylor up to the front right along with Lersven there, coming out of, I believe it was Norway there. So a lot of UK flags though showing up for the Europe race. T-Beck from the BRT team up toward the front. Looks like quite a few BRTs actually amongst the group here. You can recognize them with that Cyclops kit. That is usually the Power Tap kit that they are using out there. Excuse me, that's Cyclops. All underneath the Saurus brand, but it is usually BRT hanging out in that Power Tap kit that you will be watching out for. Another kick up toward the front. It will be... I can get this name correctly, Vuko Manovic out of the UK now, kicking up toward the front here. 100, looks like 95 beats per minute. I think there may be a heart rate monitor malfunction there at 95 beats per minute, but Joliffe now hanging on to the wheel right along with Lars Veen out of Norway, but nobody going anywhere just yet. The group is all back together and none of the attacks able to get anywhere as they head into the sprint section out on course. Back in with the A's now, we do see that the front end of this race is starting to be lit up by none other than Pierre Ficati here. 187 beats per minute, kicking in with that aero power up right now. Pierre Ficati, the winner of the first CVR World Cup, actually over in Las Vegas. 7.7 watts per kilogram, 193 beats per minute, just barely was able to TT away from the group and hold off none other than GP Llama Shane Miller actually at the line. You see came on like a freight train with the rest of the group, but we do see MD right over with Gravdell. Matt Johnson there from ODZ as well trying to chase that down. Szerzynski there, and it looks like Innovation with Gavin Richardson. Dempster as well coming from BRT. Bond there from the BRT team in that Power Tap kit chasing it right on down with Paceline Designs. Bentley and about making it just barely onto the back of this group. Coming out of Australia will be Whitford representing the land down under. Gutenplan Coaching with M. Davis from the WBR, always with a killer kick at the end of the race. Maybe just holding back enough to hold on to the wheels. He's always one of these riders that can barely hang on, and well, maybe not barely hang on, but plays it smart and hangs on to the draft and then allows that to bring him to the line. Usually has an amazing kick for a sprint at the finish. We do see a little bit of in-game rage with some shots fired coming from Domestique here. He calls everybody the Jokies. We'll give him a ride on. Here he is, Domestique, for his comments at least. And we do have S. Moran here trying to jump onto the group as well with the Precision kit on. Jay Mason here out of South Africa with G Beard now also in that ODZ kit, falling off pace. Wood is here. Our Wood just a little ways off Gilbertson. Looks like a 10-second gap now to the main group up at the front of the race. And so let's go ahead and see what the pace will be up on the top. I don't think the numbers are stupid crazy just yet. And I think they will most likely be right around a 350 to 345 pace up and over the top. Nothing like the 320s to 330s that we did see when we saw in Bibby or the Brett Boniface, maybe a McCarthy attack up and over the, it would be Cartwright, excuse me. But McCarthy also, if he were to throw down a world championship, maybe one-time effort to the top, could throw down maybe a 330 up and over the top of the climb here. But it will be Dempster up at the front now, leading things out. 6.4 watts per kilogram, taking a little bit of attack actually. Phone trying to follow there, 9 meters off the back, and without that 5 meters between Dempster and the rest, it's definitely going to be no draft on him. MD also from the BRT team. Interesting tactics here on the front end of the race. 3.3 watts per kilogram, just holding the door there as he allows Dempster to get a little bit of a gap, actually. And if he has an arrow power up over and over the top and he can kick one more time, Dempster may be able to get away here. 6.9 watts per kilogram with still 3.5 laps to go. Kicking on that Zwift. Actually, one of the first open-ups for bikes, actually. You need to get Dempster that Tron bike out there on Zwift. Now, KRT coming across, though, from that KISS Racing team, uses that arrow power-up. They have a solid 339 up over the top, and it will be Jay Lecoq right now with a little bit of a gap over Fawn and the rest here, but they will close it right on down. Do see Mac D from the TFC team. Solid effort there coming from him in that yellow kit. And it looks like they will be able to close it right on down. Now back in with the B category as they're making their way up the climb. We just saw the A's. It looks like there is an attack now happening from the front end of this group. North Dakota is there right along with S Light, but it will be again Vuko Manovic there coming out of the UK with 4.3 watts per kilogram. It will be Bergenski now trying to hang on from the BRT team, right along with Osted out of Norway. Worthington is still there, Whitemeyer as well. And about a 2-second back to S. Russell for the KRT team. Not sure he's going to be able to hang on. This group's going to have to really put in a dig to close this right on down. Jason Feltus, good to see you there. Ohio. And we do see a little bit of protesting going on there amongst the group right now. Absolutely love the Ohio. No expansion left behind. I appreciate you guys jumping in with the Ohio. Hans Peter Somerson, as well as I am seeing a couple of others there. Jason Feltus as well. Old school beta testers in the house, perhaps. And Johnny Noblet is now saying, Nathan Garrett, Cyclops giving away a hammer for those wearing a kit and tagging a hashtag in photos with them in it. So make sure to jump on with the Cyclops kit and hashtag in the photos, actually. John, if you can get exact details or even retweet the tweet at Z Community Live so that we can actually take it directly from Cyclops, we would love to do so. And now we do have Kev Steven coming on through with some Go ODZ. They definitely do have quite a few riders in the break right now. I am seeing none other than Pierre Ficati. I believe Matt Johnson is there as well. And so now we got innovation as well with some cheerleading coming right on to. And Mark Hoffman is saying, I see a, whoa, what is going on here? This is some of the longest comments I've ever seen come on through. I see a breach of rules right there. Rule 24, Vila Almanati clearly states speeds and distance shall be referred to and measured in kilometers. This includes while discussing cycling in workplace with your non-cycling co-workers. Oh my goodness. Shots fired over on, and we are definitely doing a European broadcast here. So Nathan has not set things up correctly whatsoever. So apologies. I have broken the rules right now. And maybe we'll just have to rule 5 though and deal with it as we get on with the broadcast there, Mark Hoffman. So, and now looking on through here, Worthington right along with Johnny Bay, Northcote, and then it will be Osted. S Light here with James, and Scaredy Pants is in there as well. Looks like he's able to make it up and over the top of the climb in this B category race with the front runners. New PR set all around. Absolutely flying up and over the top here with this B category. We are following along with ZwiftPower.com though. We're going to double check on all the upgrades that may need to be happening today during the race. Make sure you jump into the correct categories. If you are between 3.2 and 4.0 watts per kilogram for 20 minutes out there, you are in the correct category if you are in the B category. Over 4.0 though, you are needing an upgrade. And so looking through here, we are seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders. We're going to just call them out here. Vukona Manovic right along with A. Smith, G. Taylor, Northcote, Johnny Bay. Great job. You are getting an upgrade to the A category, I believe, out there today. But solid effort out there with 4.1 to 4.0 for the duration of 20 minutes out there. Quite a few others there also. Alstead, now as they do go over the climb right now, the B category all the way through the top 30 or so are really needing that upgrade out there today. And Ohio is not a metric stale. What is going on here? We've got all kinds of comments coming on through at the Zwift's Facebook right now. Back in with the front end runners in the A category. Matt Johnson now attacking as Pierre Ficati sit-ins, I believe, from ODZ as they make their way over the second time through the SEs. 15 minutes of racing down so far. And as we can see, Szerzynski right along with Gravdal and Bond here, as well as S. Johnson, all able to hang on at the front end of this group. Pierre Ficati now settling down a little bit, but we're still seeing 178 beats per minute, actually. So about 56 seconds back to Domestique, who's working hard for that chase group actually at the front end of it right now, playing his role correctly as the Jokers are off the front according to Domestique. Now Whitford here at the back of the race, 162 beats per minute. Looks like he's calming down a little bit as they do hit the section out on course that the attacks most likely will not be taking place. Is there any upgrades in the CCAT? Not positive right now. Looking through, and there is someone putting up 5.3 watts per kilogram in the C category, actually, boys and girls. He's 13 years old, according to his name, though, so I have a feeling maybe on the Go-Go Power Rangers, definitely weighing in at 36 kilograms, actually. Absolutely killing everybody out there. Great job out there to the 13-year-old, dominating the C category. I almost am like happy to see him out there showing everybody what's up on the Go-Go Power Rangers. Now we look at the front end of the race now. Bond here now from the BRT race now, or BRT team at 170 beats per minute. And this is the thing about racing out on Zwift. It's always consistent. You never get that complete resting of the heart rate. Usually you're always consistently putting out a tempo effort and then attacking out of that tempo. So it makes you crazy strong racing out on Zwift here. Davis here now at the front. 142 though, calming things down a little bit here from Davis, Race WBR. Watch out for him for that sprint in the last 200 meters. If somebody goes early, that is going to be the way to beat Davis. And we've seen some crazy sprints coming from him. They're going to have to break him off in one of these climbs or through the Essies or with an earlier attack. We did see Matt Johnson about 3 weeks ago, actually, for ODZ with a great attack on the downhill, actually, section of the, after the reverse Watopia climb, actually, with an aero power-up, attacked on the downhill, was able to get a huge gap on the rest of the field and was never caught again. Maybe be able to repeat that with an aero power-up. We'll have to see if anybody's able to do that because Davis is almost unmatched in his sprint to the line in the last 200 meters, but doesn't always win it, as we do see some wind-ups, Cipollini style, way out and able to get away and break the rest of the group early on. Looking through here you go at Z Community Live. Thank you so much. Here's what's going on with, let's see if I can bring this right on in. And here is, get ready to win from Monday, October 23rd to October 29th. So next week, that is not right now, but Monday, October 23rd through the 29th, first 200 entrants will receive a piece of Cyclops swag. Plus, all entries will be entered into a drawing to win a hammer. Get your avatar ready and unlock your Cyclops kit. Hit P in game and enter the code GOCyclops. So I'll show you real quick here on my Zwift. I believe I can do it without interrupting the race, but I can go ahead and go in game, hit P, and you enter the promo code right at the bottom. It's GOCyclops, and that will unlock the Cyclops kit. You take a pic like it says in the promo there, next week, post it with, let's see, how do we go about posting it though? Get ready to win, drawing to win. I think you just have to post the picture and tag Cyclops in it. So make sure to do so. And you'll be able to, it looks like there's a couple, there's actually some other things going on there. So make sure to head on over to Cyclops Twitter to figure out how to win. As I'm not seeing, it's a little too small to read. Go take a photo of your avatar, and then there's like an @Cyclops and a hashtag and some other things. So head on over there and make sure to enter that in to get your chance to win. The first 200 entrants all get some sort of swag. So pretty cool promo getting put together by Cyclops there. Speaking of Cyclops, at the front, we do see the BRT team with the Power Tap kit on under that same house brand of Saras here, as we do see Power Up Tap kit within Bond now up toward the front. Phone now following up with attack. We are seeing 5.9 watts becoming from Innovation now, 4 meters up the road from Annabelle. Annabelle now not closing it down, just holding that door there. Ground down from PTZ, holding on, but there is a little bit of a gap now, 7 meters, allowing maybe P-Phone to get away here. We'll see if he's able to hold on to this gap. 171 beats per minute, 324 watts. That's some serious suffering going on to the top of the climb here. Dempster coming right around, though, with 4.9 watts per kilogram. They're going to kick one more time on this second tier of this. I'd say three tiers, actually, on the reverse Watopia climb. There's the initial kick up in that 11% gradient or so. Then it levels out for a little while. There's one kick right in the middle here that really can put a little bit of suffering in the legs. It levels out for a while, and there's a final kick to the top past the KOM banner as they round out their second lap out here today. Appreciate that. And getsetup.zwift.com. What is that all about now? What is all of these things coming through here, Johnny? I'm not sure. Also, you can get Cyclops trainers in North America with Zwift.com, and all you need to get ready for the winter. Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate all of the information. Now, Innovation here, 5.8 watts per kilogram, sitting in MD. Right along, Matt Johnson, ODZ, moving back, pace lines, Pierre Ficati still there. Does look like TFC able to hang in as well. S. Johnson here from Team Lightsview out of Australia. The land down under are still representing. Doesn't look like Whitford was able to make it, but it does look like one more coming from the land of the Aussies able to make it in amongst this group. But up at the front now, we do see Dempster attacking again. He likes to attack in this section of the course, it looks like, seeing if anybody is on the rivet, if they can drop them off. And if it's all about continuance on the other side of this climb, though, they need to continue on with the effort if they want to make it count. Take the speed into the downhill and make sure that they're traveling at a higher miles per hour, kilometers per hour on the other side of the climb to really make it difficult, because the riders are looking for a reprieve, for some rest on the other side of that climb. And if you're unable to give it to them and you can continue all the way down without anybody getting draft, you can really put people into some hurt. But it does not look like that's going to be happening. But one did drop off. It is Davis, the sprinter that we were watching out for. And we were talking about that earlier. If you're able to drop him off, you definitely took one off the podium usually for the sprint at the line. With 2 laps to go, Davis is going to be thinking about R. Bentley as well as Kif Moran there, as well as Domestique as they're 150 back. It's going to be a TT effort to the finish line for Davis, unless he can close it down through the Essies would be the next place out, of course, to make that happen. Are there any locations to check out different setups? Local bike shop. There you go. There are, I believe, starting to be some Zwift like concept shop places, so definitely want to check out whether or not your local shop does have a Zwift setup in order to do so. I know a few locally here that definitely do have some Zwift setups that you can check out in southeastern Wisconsin area, but you just have to call up to your local bike shop and be like, hey, I'd like to check out your trainers for the winter. Do you have a Zwift setup? Probably encourage them to do so. because you're calling and asking. So local bike shop, usually the place to go for that. All right, back in with the B category racers as these riders make their way around for their third lap, starting up their third lap. We do see a couple more biting the dust off the back. Scaredy Pants is getting scared off the back, it looks like here, right along with Solak out of Brazil. Schaefer's there out of the UK. Templeton there. Griffin. Yeah, trying to jump across to the next group that is chasing. That will be Fisher right along with Bales there from the STW. What is this STW? I'm seeing a couple of riders coming from this team actually. Looks like a newer team out on Zwift. And we are seeing, check out where you can get the Zwift experience. There it is. I knew that was happening. And this is a huge help. Thank you so much, Johnny. And I knew that there were Zwift experience shops that were taking place, and you can find them at zwift.com/ZED, it looks like. According to, let me see if that's right. Yep, it is zwift.com/ZED. So go ahead and check that out, and you can see where. They don't call me Quinklington. Oh, SMH. Quick Link Johnny. Thanks a lot, Quick Link Johnny. So now, moving forward now with the broadcast, Waddington up toward the front with Papa, McCormick, and it will be Austin, and still Vukomanovic here out of the UK with two BRT riders, Bergenski with Worthington just hanging on to that group. Whitemeyer here out of Denmark, Real Country represent with McCormick and Waddington. Johnny Bay is there as well. Radley, Northcote able to make it with Lersveen out of Norway. S. Russell still in amongst the group here, it looks like, as well. Jay Vaughn's here just trying to hang on. Van Beers out of the Netherlands jumping across there, 6.3 watts per kilogram, able to do so. Solid effort there. And it looks like up toward the front end of this race right now, we do have, it's about 12 riders or so amongst them. Waddington, Worthington there, and then it looks like Vukomanovic. Now still, riders at the front end of this B category, looking through what is your watts per kilogram for 20 minutes straight. If you haven't checked it out already, you make sure you head on over to zwiftpower.com after the race and you see what your watts per kilogram were for 20-minute effort. And here is my desktop with zwiftpower.com open. And you can see in the A category for the 20-minute effort right here, we've got all these A category riders right around that 4.0 plus, right? And then you can see all the great, their history of results and their age, veteran, master, senior, etc., their average heart rates. But you can also see their 20-minute watts per kilogram. And that is there so you know what category you should be entering in. As we go down here, we can see for a 20-minute duration, as we do have a 20 minutes already recorded in the game for it's about 25 minutes in so far. We are seeing Northcote right along with Weimar, Radley, Osted, quite a few here over those category limits. And this is to make sure that everybody is getting a fair chance at racing against individuals that are around the same level of ability as the other ones around them. So make sure that if you are going over category limits, that you are recognizing that over at zwiftpower.com and then jumping into the correct category next time that you do race. As it does make sure that all the riders are racing against somebody around their ability level. And that's the amazing thing about this platform, making this largest online training community in the world, that everybody has somebody that they can race against and compete against and push each other at a similar level in these events throughout the day, as we have multiple events going on every single day. And it just helps out a ton if everybody jumps into the correct category. All right, looking at the front here, we are seeing, it looks like S. Johnson from Team Lightsview out of Australia, still able to hang on 166 beats per minute. So look over his shoulder, it looks like it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about, I'd say about 12, maybe 15 riders tops in and amongst this group right now. They've got 2 more times over the reverse Watopia. As things have calmed down though, we did just get an announcement of the Indoor Cycling Championships, European champions actually, championships have been announced by Zwift. And pretty cool event that looks to be happening. The first event will be Monday, October 30th, actually. And I do have the details. You can see all the details over at Zwift.com in their events, actually. And I do actually have it open right here. TACX European Indoor Championships. The TACX European Indoor Championships is a 5-race series taking place every Monday from October 30th through November 29th. So European riders will score points in each race. The top 10 European men and top 10 European women in the overall standings will be invited to a live e-racing final in January to determine who will be crowned the TACX European Indoor Champion. So the announcement is live. 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time will be the first broadcast and race. We will be broadcasting those races, and there is an A and a B category. Now here's the thing, everybody, that does not mean you cannot join it if you are a C or a B or a D category rider. It just means that the A category is for the men and the B category is for the women. It has nothing to do with ability level. And it also says in there in the categories, all are welcome, but expect a fast race averaging over 4 watts per kilogram. And in the Bs, for the women only, all are welcome, but expect a fast race averaging 4+ watts per kilogram. And it's just because in Zwift, the only way to have events is A, B, C, D, and E categories. So they just put A and B category in and said you have to join one or the other for the men and for the women, and then race it out to do the 5 races. So we will be covering that. And any inside scoop on USA time-friendly race series for the winter, not announced yet, but it is happening. All right. It is going to be happening. The announcement isn't official yet. Details to come soon on the U.S. Championships. All right, up at the front now. I'm assuming we're going to see a few of these Europeans throwing their hat into the mix to try and be in those championships. Things are going to heat up, that's for sure. Out on Zwift, trying to get into those finals. I just like the E-Crit finals for Australia. We now have our winter series for the European and the US coming up. I'm super excited for it and to be casting them. Now looking at the front end of this race, we just see Gravdal here now coming out of Norway, kicking it for PTZ. Annabelle following very closely out of Italy. Gavin Richardson, Innovation now taking over the front of this race. They've been sitting in a lot up to this point, but it looks like this is the moment of attack. They're all telling each other now is the time to go. Innovation trying to take over, but PTZ has something to say about that. BRT still in it amongst the riders here. Couple falling off the back, though. Is Pierre Ficati able to hang on? Because I thought he was the favorite out there today. Davis is back in the race. He closed it down, you guys. That is absolutely amazing. He was 10 seconds off the back, closed it back down through the Essies, I believe. Now MD from BRT, though, unable to hang on. 177 beats per minute is that absolute at the threshold max. Everything that he has is on the table. No longer able to push. We should be seeing at a certain point here the watts completely fade, unless this is just threshold effort for him now at this point. But now we do see 2.9. Now struggling to get back into that 393. Now coming back to 290. And it looks like over the ability at this point of MD to hang on. 6 seconds off the back now. Now we do see at the front Johnson, Davis, Phone, Annabelle still pressing the pace. 4.2 watts per kilogram now with a lap and a half to go with Annabelle there out of Italy. Innovation still dominating the front end of this race. Zwift Community Line, when is the North American champs? Not announced yet. We just said that, right? Did you catch that, Casey? Not announced yet, but they will be announced. Details to come soon. And looking through here, you're going to cover the TACX European Series. Yep, we are covering it, Tom. We are all over it. Wes Salmon, looks like Wes is partying. I don't know what this is about, but a little bit of a... it doesn't even come through either on my social media things. Like that is an unrecognized character. But thanks for the party, Wes. Appreciate it very much. Now looking through here at the front end of this A category, it looks like Grupo Compacto again. I'm expecting Dempster with the attack. He loves to attack, but at 183 beats per minute, I think he's only got about 6 beats to work with at this point. Will the Belgian rider able to kick one more time. Matt Johnson at the front here leading things out. Where's Pierre Ficati? He's still in there. Steady 182. I think he maxes out about 193-ish. So watch out for Pierre Ficati to have about 10 beats to work with at this point. Paceline Zedine still in there out of Canada, right along with Jay Lecoq, also coming out of Canada from the KRT team. I think he's solo, though, as far as KRT goes. I'm not seeing any others. Innovation definitely dominating amongst the group here for riders. Mac D is there as well for the TFC team. Still looking for that podium. We've been talking about Mac D and the podiums for months. I'm cheering on Mac D. Let's go TFC. I want to see a podium. Today's the day for Mac D, TFC, to throw it down and get the podium. One lap to go. Want to see yellow. You got the yellow jersey on, man. You got to make it happen, dude. It's been a tour for 3 months now. Let's make it happen, Mac D, TFC. Let's get some chat going on in the... In the Twitch, in the mixer, TFC hype. Let's go, Mac D on the front. Now, this is not how you win it. I didn't say go to the front. Play it smart, Mac D. Make it happen for the win. All right. TFC bias full on. All right. Now back in with the B category. We do see again the Vukomanovic now here coming from Great Britain with Johnny Bay. RJ Northcote still there as well. Mike Meyer and Waddington. Now it looks like Waddington at the back here with a couple of A riders here. Aaron there as well. Our Papa. Now it looks like coming out of Japan. Looking over his shoulder, it does look like there's a 2-second gap to a couple of C riders actually. They're closing the gap down out of Sweden. Absolutely killing it here. Way over category limits now. No heart rate, 116 RPMs. What is going on? Jehu now off the back here in that Zwift Academy graduation kit. Actually, good to see him out there representing the amazing help that he did for the Quebeca Foundation to get some bikes over to them. I think it was 124 bikes that were raised for the Quebeca Foundation for the Team Dimension Data Zwift Academy. Great job to Jehu for completing. Better than I did, that's for sure. S. Russell there from the KRT team now trying to close it down with Osted in this B category race. Now the attack is on from the BRT racers, though, with Bergenski as well as Whitemeyer. S. Light there from the PTZ able to go right along with them. They're going to have 1 lap to go after this climb, and this is the moment of truth for these boys. Whitemeyer kicking up in the 6.3 watts per kilometer, 152 beats per minute. Able to put down a solid effort with now Worthington. Bergenski, now the 3 BRTs there. Vukomanovic now out of the UK trying to close it down. Osted along with Northcote. Looks like McCormick there now with a little bit of a gap to close down. The elastic is stretching and starting to snap. And it looks like 5.9, 5.8 watts per kilogram. One last kick to get on terms. Will be a few falling off pace if there's continuance at the front end of this group. It's in that echelon-like line that we usually see when the riders are in a huge amount of hurt, as they're just trying to close the gaps and hold the wheels that are right in front of them. S. Light now falling off pace. We'll give him a ride on as he's holding 3.2 watts per kilogram, unable to hold on to Russell's wheel as he closes it down to Waddington. RJ as well, and the group is just 1 second up. It is 11 meters. RJ has to close this down now if he's going to be able to be in and amongst this front runners for the final lap amongst the Bs. And it looks like amongst the A category, they're just starting their final lap out there today. And let's go ahead and see what's happening with them as they enter the Essies. I am seeing another attack come from Innovation as they enter into the Essies here. Here goes falling right along with Gravdo. It will be Matt Johnson, actually, from ODZ. He's holding on to that orange jersey as well. Fastest time out on course right now with 11:55. Actually, doesn't have it on as you don't don the jersey if you are in a group event, actually, but 11:55 currently with the fastest time on the reverse Watopia course, actually. And that's what these jerseys are all about on the left-hand side of the course. If you're out there, you can hold on to those jerseys for 1 hour straight. The sprint jersey, the KOM jersey, or the fastest lap jersey, which is the orange jersey. There's also the Volcano Crit course as well as the KOM. And then the Epic KOM for all the jerseys that you can go for out on course. And that's amongst all of the riders actually out there. And so as soon as you exit an event, you can see what your, so if you just jump into open world riding, you can go for all those jerseys and hold on to them in the leaderboards. And if you actually grab the fastest time, you then get to wear the jersey. But because they're a part of an event, everybody outside the event will see them wearing the jersey, I believe. But since we are in the event with them, the event doesn't actually hold on to any of the jerseys, just so you guys know. So that's why we do not see it on Matt Johnson. But he does have a solid 11:55 right now for the fastest time out on Zwift, I believe. And that's why we see it next to his name. Now looking through here, we are seeing, it looks like Johnson back at the front with another attack here. It looks like he's trying to loosen up the, trying to soften up the legs here of the rest of the group. Maybe set up Pierre Ficati for a final attack up over the top of the climb. Or if he does get away, just stay away from the group and force Innovation to chase, force BRT to chase, force PTZ to chase. And that is looks like the setup that we see working out for the tactics here. Paceline design, BRT. Where is Pierre Ficati? Pierre Ficati here now sitting in 187. Maybe not having the best race today, though. Maybe a little bit of a break from the bike, perhaps, too, as he, I believe, is coming off a long summer of racing. So maybe first time we're seeing him out on course here, but I'm still cheering on the MACD TFC here. We'll see if he can make it happen. And we are seeing through here a couple more comments coming on through. Sticky, my boy, Mac Johnson. So we are seeing some cheering here coming from Kevin Stephen for the ODZ boys, looking for Matt Johnson to take the win out there today. Still holding on to a little bit of a gap, actually, as we talk about it. It looks like Matt Johnson has gotten away right along with a couple of Innovation boys. It will be Gavin Richards and P Phone, actually. 3-second gap here. It's going to be up to Szynski to close this down. Now we are seeing Gutenplan coaching here getting a little bit of a kick there in as well, trying to close it down, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening, actually. Pierre Ficati still sitting in, not going to chase his teammate down and forcing the rest of the group. And there's not too many bodies left ahead of him that can close this down, I don't think. BRT, Dempster, not in amongst the group. KRT doesn't have anybody up there. It's going to be Innovation and ODZ. Now, with two off the front from Innovation, one off the front from ODZ, 6-second gap, not getting closed down. Dempster out the front here, 4.5 now having to do some work for the BRT team. Bond now sitting on as well. Now another kick coming from Gravdown, knowing that gap is about 5 seconds. That's the point at which you need to really pay attention. It gets outside 5 to 10 seconds, especially going into a climb like that. You may not see that group again. We do see ODZ sitting in a little bit. Innovation, they are trading well at this point. 5 watts per kilogram, 6 watts per kilogram at the front, while they sit in at 3 or so at the back, but now on a little bit of a climb, trying to stay away from that group. It is closed down very quickly there by Gravdal. Now Bond here from the BRT, now 184 beats per minute. I'm not sure that these boys have anything left in the legs to close this down. Now Annabelle coming from Innovation, not going to close this down, just going to sit on BRT and allow them to do the work at the front. Definitely some team tactics being thrown down today in this A category race. What an amazing race. What an amazing tactic from ODZ and Innovation right now. Gravdal from PTZ closes it right on down. We'll give him a ride on as he is able to make this front runners up 4. Now, the question is, will anybody who's been sitting in amongst the group at this point be able to close it down when they hit the uphill gradient? It's going to be about a monstrous attack from this group. That is what's going to have to happen. And these boys that are off the front at this point, it might have been a little bit too much with only a 5-second gap. Will they have put too much energy out on course at this point? It looks like they're starting to rest up a little bit, waiting for the next climb. Gravdo 165, Richardson 150. We are seeing Phone here as well. Now 170 beats per minute. Matt Johnson, ODZ 162. Still a 4-second gap between them and the rest of the riders. Now the question is, will they start the attack from way out from that initial kick? Because a lot of times the best attacks we've seen over the top of the reverse Watopia climb is from the start of the climb proper at that white line. Ian Bibby's fastest time we've seen from the fastest rider out on Zwift, right around a 324 or so, and that was Ian Bibby over the top in a KISS race, actually. And he went from right there at that white line. If you wait till this moment here when it kicks up, a lot of times everybody can follow that 15 to 30 seconds, but if you go for 40 to a minute, which is really what it's about, from that white line all the way over the top of the gradient. It is about a minute of climbing all out, and that really puts people into the hurt locker there. But Fawn now at the front here, 8.4 watts per kilogram coming out of Switzerland, really throwing down an effort here from Innovation. Now with Johnson following up there as well. Richardson is there, 164 beats per minute. As we look over the shoulder there, we do see Gravdell now fading backwards, unable to hang on, it looks like, with that aero power up, looking for every last bit of speed to hang on to the wheel of the attack right now, as Gravdell from PTZ just barely is able to hang on to that wheel. BRT there with Dempster, 191 beats per minute. We saw him in the 183s or so when he was going over this section last time. This is what we're seeing usually at the top from Dempster, but Dempster kicks again, 8 watts per kilogram. It's just a 2-second gap to be involved still, but it's not going to happen, it looks like, at this point. Will Richardson be able to give him a wheel? It looks like Dempster just barely, maybe. Annabelle just following it up. There is MacD. Has he played it intelligently to this point? Because he is being dragged back into the group. Will it be TFC's day-to-day with a sprint finish, as these boys have thrown everything on course to make this group happen? But it looks like it is going to be all back together for the finish, unless there's another kick over the top. Szerzynski now off the back, shot off the back. No Team Poland involved in the final sprint, as Bond from BRT, Pierre Ficati, Gutenplan coaching, now making this. Gravdo, Pacelines Designs, Dempster, MacD is there as well. Annabelle from Italy now kicking over the top. He sat in. As soon as they caught his teammates, he went again. The team tactics are real from Innovation now. As we look over his shoulder, Richardson now trying to go with him. 2 Innovation boys going to be working off the front, but it's still MacD sitting in, trusting the group to make things happen. Where's Pierre Ficati? Is Pierre Ficati gone? No, he's still in, sitting in, 190 beats per minute, though I wouldn't call that sitting anywhere. Up and out of the saddle now, 343 watts. ODZ still making it happen, though. Where is Johnson? He's there as well, it looks like, just a few ahead. And the communication is just nothing but suffering at this point. All they can see is the watts and the heart rates. And I believe they're not going to be doing a whole lot of talking, even if they are in a Discord together at this point. Now we're seeing Richardson there, 5.7 watts per kilogram coming around, as Annabelle looks to sit in, as they got 4 seconds. We'll be able to hold on to this gap. They're going to need 10 to 15 seconds, I believe, to hold off BRT, to hold off ODZ, to hold off TFC. Will Innovation be able to hold on to this? But they still have one sitting in with Fawn, who can sit in and allow the rest of the teams to chase down his team member. It's the cat and mouse at this point. It is the team tactics from Innovation working over the rest of the groups as they attack every time they're caught at this point. What an amazing race at this point. The team tactics are amazing. Can you walk us through some of the tactics a bit more? Maybe take a guess at what they will do next. I am doing my best. I believe what's going to happen right now, though, Bressler, I believe what's going to happen now is they're going to wait for up and over the top of the climb. And if they have any energy left by Annabelle, if Annabelle and Richardson have anything left, they will continue as best as they can. But Dempster and the others that are trying to chase down are going to kick as hard as they can from here forward to bring it back with the rest of the group. But if they can't close it down, they're going to trust that the final drag race to the line in the last 500 meters will close down that 5 seconds, and that Innovation off the front will not have the effort, will not have the ability to hold on to this gap to the line. But Dempster now with that aero power up, 195 beats per minute. MacD now has been sitting in this entire time, but he sees the aero power ups being kicked. Here comes Matt Johnson. We saw this a few weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago. The aero power up on the downhill, 9 watts per kilogram. Here he goes, 700 watts. This is the attack we talked about. Matt Johnson, ODZ with the aero power up. He's going to go flying right on by Innovation. 52 miles per hour. He's up into 80 kilometers per hour. Goes flying by. They're not going to be holding on to any wheels at this point. Matt Johnson with the aero power up. Innovation caught completely off the guards. Matt Johnson's got the aero power up on the downhill. Big watts, big speed to the line. 5 seconds. There is nothing left in the legs that can close this down from any riders. Matt Johnson is gone. As long as he can hold 6 to 7 to the line at this point. What an effort. What an attack. We saw that same tactic from ODZ. Now can Pierre Ficati throw it down to the line, but Johnson's got to hold on. The innovation coming on with Gavin Richardson with 8 watts per kilogram, but here comes Pierre Ficati. Will it be a 1-2 to the line? Richardson trying to make it there as well. Looks like Pierre Ficati is going to be holding down for third place if he can hold it to the line, but no, it will be Paceline's design for third. It was innovation with Richard, but Matt Johnson from ODZ with that attack on the downhill set a new PR, 11:55 around the course, fastest one out on Watopia for the full lap, as well as the fastest one in the KISS A race today. ODZ throws it down, takes the W, and it is that classic Allenby tactic. You know, I call it the Allenby tactic because we saw it from him over and over again, over Box Hill on the other side of Fox Hill. Aero power up, big watts, huge gaps opened up because that aero power up reduces the drag on your avatar so greatly. It's like sitting in on a semi truck. You saw him up in that 51, 52, 53 miles per hour. He was up into almost, I think, what is that then? Is that like, that's got to be like 80 to 90 kilometers per hour. Absolutely fine. ODZ just killing it out there today and takes the podium. MacD, man. TFC, come on. What's going on? Just kidding. Nice job out there, MacD, TFC. And now looking back in the B category race, what's happening out there with these boys? Looking at the front of the race, it will still be Vukomanovic there, right along with Whitemeyer and Worthington. Bergenski, Northcote there, 4 seconds back, it looks like. Russell is there as well, but it's all in that super suffering mode, as you can see. Look at the gaps now. Each one of those is just a few seconds of 300 watts though. I mean, to close that down, it's that extra 100 to 150 watts, maybe even 200 watts extra, just to close the gap as they throw it down at 250 to 300 to try and hold on to their placing right now. S. Mitchell here right along with Northcote. Now the gap is opening up, continues to go out as Whitemeyer out of Denmark here. Opens it up at 156 beats per minute now. All back together with Vukomanovic, Worthington there, Bergenski now as well. McCormick and Northcote are at the front end of this race. Would this work in an outdoor race as well? Mosh Bressler is asking. I think on the downhill sections of a race like that, if you were to attack, let me think about this for a second. You would have to attack with speed on the uphill and then use the draft from the rest of the group. So a lot of what, so that's a great question, actually. And actually, let's bring that on him here. And I would say that the similar situation for that in a real life race situation, Bressler, is when you're in amongst a large group, large peloton, and you attack out of the peloton's draft. So they're dragging around along on a sharp downhill, and then you attack out of that, and then you even have a crosswind at your back that maybe is making some of the riders on the other side of the pack have a disadvantage. That would be a similar situation to using that aero power up on a downhill, because you just got a huge boost. You have a little bit of a wind at your back, which then takes a huge boost in addition while you sprint away from the group. And you may be able to gain a 5 to 10 second gap very quickly, actually, at that kind of a moment with only about 600 to 700 meters to go. You could catch everybody off guard and end up with 100 meters between you and the rest of the pack. So yes, I would say it definitely would be able to work similar to that. And that is where the RNG, the random numbers games that we are seeing with the power-ups in game, be similar to that which you do see in real life, being able to use them to your advantage, because it is RNG in real life as to whether or not the weather, the draft, and the pack and what it does and where you end up in the pack and whether or not you're lucky enough to get that right positioning and fight for it correctly and use it at the right time. Yeah, that I would say that is the kind of situation you could see in real life. I would completely, so Ryan Johnson, I totally respect the opinion. I would say that the in-game power-ups actually make it more like real life, and that the control that we see in-game, our ability to see everyone's effort and ability to see everyone's watts and heart rates, makes us feel like we have more control and more understanding of what's going on with and so we want more of a mano a mano. What do you got and what do you got? Where you can't see the RNG in real life, but it's there. The power-ups and all that stuff, I mean, it's there in real life, most definitely. And there's a lot of luck in road racing that you need to use to your advantage in real life road racing for sure. So and others have other opinions, and I respect those opinions already. I know I got the microphone. You guys got the chat. We'll have a conversation about it. I invite everybody. Let's have maybe next week or the week after weekly wind-up. Power-ups and RNG. Is it like real life? Is it not? That's a great topic for next week. We'll throw it down on the weekly wind-up. All right, Worthington now on the attack in the B category. Here he goes, right along with Whitemeyer. 4 seconds is the difference at this point. It looks like BRT is going to be able to walk away with the B category race now. It looks like Whitemeyer, 4.3 watts per kilogram, trying to win the second place race at this point. It looks like Worthington 9.8 watts per kilogram. Vukomanovic now right along with Whitemeyer, McCormick as well. Now Worthington though absolutely gone. Now kick to the line though will be McCormick, 7.4 watts per kilogram, 177 beats per minute, taking second place, followed by Vukomanovic for third. Whitemeyer there in... Did he fade? Whitemeyer was out the front and it looks like he faded or had a dropout. I thought Whitemeyer was taking the W there. Northcote across the line first, followed by Mitchell and then Bergenski. And I know you're not knocking it. No worries there, Ryan Johnson. We've had discussion after discussion on this topic. And I think it's a great topic to chat about, Ryan Johnson, during the weekly windup so we can dive into it a little bit deeper. But I really... I'm of the opinion that the power-ups make it more like real-life racing, actually. And that real-life racing is nothing like mano-a-mano, power-to-power. There's a lot more RNG dynamics that get thrown into the mix. So, looks like Al Augustine actually out here for innovation. Hammering away. And is that actually a relation to Kyle Augustine out there, out on course? Good to see her hammering away here in the C category. Go ahead and give her a ride on. And it looks like there are countless random events in real life that will work against you, though, Luke Peterson says. So, yeah, the discussion has been started. Shots fired left and right. Here we go. Maybe I shouldn't have started that one. Oh, boy. Here. And now looking through it, see if we can see what's happening in the C category. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do so before they finish up there. And I totally understand that you're not knocking it. And that's why, actually, the KISS races have power-ups in them. The SCR races, which we will cover tomorrow, don't have power-ups. And you just want power versus power, right on. That's absolutely awesome. There's actually races and events out there for that. You just want to see what you got against what I got. You want no RNG whatsoever? Great. I just don't think that that's very simulation of what real life is actually like for the experience of in real life racing. Now, I'm also of the opinion that in real life racing isn't any better expression of cycling. I'm also of the opinion that this is a completely valid expression of cycling. It's just another kind of cycling that in real life cycling is no better than cycling indoors like this. That indoor cycling is a totally valid expression of cycling as well as in real life cycling. And so it's not like if it's like in real life, it makes it better. So shots fired all over today, man. I'm starting all kinds of fight. All right, here we go. Chef Wreck here in the C category. It looks like they're 22.1 miles in. 53 minutes total. Looks like this is going to be the front end of the C race here, right along with T. Dow now following it up there. B. Russell with Reineck there from the WBR team out of Germany there. B. Russell there, it looks like with Chef Wreck, though. They're going to be taking the front end of the race. 202 beats per minute right now coming from Chef Wreck CC. Looking through here, it looks like in the C category, how is Chef Wreck aiming up? It looks like into some solid 3.2 plus. There's definitely going to be some upgrades here. Chef Wreck isn't at 3.8 watts per kilogram, 3.9 watts per kilogram. So we'll give him a ride on. But Chef Wreck you watch the broadcast or somebody knows Chef Breck, maybe shoot him a little, hey buddy, great job out there today. B category, 3.9 watts per kilogram, almost A category ride out there today, but nice job out there today. John Arner out of Iceland, hammered. Nice job to him with B Bassett here following it up there, looking for that first place official, I would think. B Russell there, 4.0 watts per kilogram, but B Russell at 3.3, a little bit over category limits here. So we're going to follow Bassett as well as John Arnar. Now, a lot of these riders, though, it looks like a little bit still over category limits. So we're going to leave it alone. Szymanski is out there today. Great to see him out there racing, 3.0 watts per kilogram. Shout out to Szymanski. Jumping back into the Zwift racing. He said today was his first time back into racing out on Zwift. Longtime viewer. Great to see him out there. Chef Rack going to be sprinting it to the line with some B category riders. Looks like T-Dow and looks like Bamfield, able to take the sprint here for Race WBR. We'll give him a ride on coming out of New Zealand. John Arnar now making his way to the line, followed by Bassett, Cycle Chat, Norrell, and then H. Harold Reinke, and then Harrington cross the line next. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the results in the race today. These are all over at ZwiftPower.com. Make sure to register over at ZwiftPower.com. If it's your first time racing or you're not registered at ZwiftPower.com, you can see the names are blacked out, but there is an entire library database of all of the races, of all of the racers that are registered over here. They are connected to the Strava as well. You can see Matt Johnson, the winner of the race today. Solid effort there. 6-second gap to Gavin Richardson, followed by David Lewis there for third on the podium. You can see 90 races here coming from Matt Johnson there. Took 3 wins actually in the last 3 races that he did. Solid results there coming from Matt Johnson. 4th in the SCR Autumn Series next week. Hope to see him tomorrow as he's opening up his legs a little bit today. But you can see all the past races there of these riders, the past max heart rates, as well as their best 20-minute powers, etc. So lots and lots of stuff going on there. Zada approval, not seeing one in there, but not over 5 watts per kilogram that we can see, so not needed there. Looking through here, Peter Fon with a solid 4.9 there in 5th place. Justin Pierficati coming through in 4th. Now looking through for the B category, we are seeing Mark Worthington, solid job by Luke McCormick, and then it will be Ivan Vukovanovic, but he's got to upgrade to the A category. Now, not always the strongest rider on the day for watts per kilogram that wins. A lot of times tactics do come into play. Looking through in the C category, where's the Oprah meme? Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Everybody gets an upgrade. We're going to go on through to, looks like first one across the line will be Jay Ferris, followed by R. Taylor, that are within category limits. Nice job to everybody who showed up. Lots of new racers, it looks like, out there today with the names blacked out. Welcome to the world of Zwift racing, and jump on into the correct category. All right, so that's going to be it for our race coverage today. I am Nathan Guerra, your host over at Zwift Community Live. Coming up next on the broadcast schedule, we will have the SCR Racing Series tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time, or Central Daylight Time, my time, as well as that is going to be 6 p.m. then British Standard Time. If you missed it at the beginning of the broadcast, we were chatting about the European Championships have been announced, presented by Zwift and Tax. That is starting up. It will be October 30th through November 29th. It is going to be on Mondays. The top 10 European men and top 10 European women in the overall standings will be qualifying for the live e-racing final in January. The North American championships will be announced soon. Details to come. There's a men's only category and a women's only category. They are marked A and B in the event on Mondays. So make sure that you jump into the correct category. Everybody is welcome, though. It is not A's and B's only, but you can expect 4.0 plus watt per kilogram averages at the front end of those races. We're going to do some question and answers here coming through real quick. We are seeing Luke Peterson saying, is ZP Live working these days? Maybe it's just my browser or firewall I'm behind. It should be working. I've got it working right now. It did have some issues though last week, I do know. So it looks like they have resolved them. And I think it is a great topic to chat about, actually, the differences between races. And so I think we're going to have that as a topic, actually, on the weekly windup, maybe this Monday or maybe the following. So Ryan Johnson, I really appreciate your comment and to open up that discussion. Great discussion to have. The attack was a bit like E. Frumi. No, last year TDF attack in the downhill opened up a big cap. I'd agree with that completely. Bruce Edwards did look a lot like it. And we are seeing Luke Peterson saying, what if Zwift threw in a couple random negatives? That would be interesting as well. There was a really cool idea thrown out there by Sombrero. I did a WBR event a WBR charity event with him last week while we did the 112-mile challenge, which you can still do. You can still do the 40K as well as the 112-mile Diamondback Challenge to be entered to win that bike. Actually, it's still an event in game right now, so make sure to check that out. But it does look like we actually have this guy right here in game doing it right now. We're looking at Mr. Dean McCarter, actually, great example for us. London 8's in his name, coming out of Ireland, doing that Diamondback Challenge. But it was actually a discussion we were having about building power-ups. Like, okay, so in Overwatch, right, you have the ability to, the more you work, the more work you do in the game for your team, the faster you get to your ultimate, right? So wouldn't it be cool is like the more work you do on the front of the pack, the sooner you get a power-up. And you can select which power-up you want to work toward. That'd be a really cool feature. All right. Let's ride again for the new Watopia extension. I'm all done riding today. Sorry, guys. My strict script is over. I'll see if I can get back over there. We tried to work around it, but it looks like you still get removed from an activity from the game, even if you are hanging out on the side of the road with constant chat going on. It looks like you still get removed. So, all right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate all of your questions, comments, as well as follows. If you want to follow on anytime that we go live, you can do so by heading on over to our Twitch, our Mixer, or our YouTube, or our Facebook. So Zwift Community Live on any of those places. The best way to follow our live streaming is on live streaming platforms. You will get push notifications to your email if you follow on Mixer or Twitch. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. And great job to all the riders as usual. And as always, ride on.